So what are my goals in 2017 for our property? Well, our number one goal is moving toward building out here by the pond. So I don't know if you can see this. We've got some stakes here in the ground. We've actually got it all staked out exactly where we want to build our cabin, and we want it here to overlook the pond. So goal number one is anything moving toward building out here. That could be getting a road back to the build site. That could be getting the water out here, because we got water. I think the water's up there by the pole barn. So we've got to bring the water all the way back here, and getting the electricity back here. So utilities and the road and just anything in general to building or moving in the direction of building. We'd really love to build out here this year. We are researching it, but nothing's guaranteed. But so we're going to set goal number one is moving toward building our cabin out here. Goal number two is going to have to do with the orchard. I mean, one, we're just going to keep it maintained and see if we can actually get some more fruit off of it this year. Try to replant the Van cherry tree that died. But really the goals for this year is we're going to plant berry plants. We have some blueberry and blackberry plants at our house in town that we're going to transplant out here. We've also bought some additional blueberries and some red raspberries, and bought a bunch of more strawberries. We have strawberries in town too. We're going to try to move the raised beds for the strawberries out here. So our goal number two is to get berry plants out here in the orchard. So we're going to plant blackberries, blueberries, red raspberries, and strawberries. And all of that should go in this next row, or next two rows, whatever it ends up taking up. So so that is goal number two, adding berries to the orchard. Goal number three has to do with the garden. Last year we just established this garden. As the first year we had this garden here. We did have a garden in town as well at our house, and this year we're going to move everything out here. So we're going to do all our gardening out here this year. We're going to try some new gardening methods. We may end up hilling up some of our rows. We may use deep mulch on some of our plants. We're going to go ahead and move some of our raised beds from in town out here. So this year we're going to try to do all of our gardening out here. So this is slowly us moving to this property. So we're moving the berry plants to the orchard. We're going to do all our gardening out here and move our raised beds out here. So goal number three is getting all of our garden here on this property, and trying out new gardening methods to try to make this clay soil work for us, and find out what methods actually work and what don't work. So goal number four is going to deal with food plots. This is the remnants of a chicory food plot that we planted last fall. I think we've learned a few things from this last year, and we want to go ahead and plant more food plots this year. So we will replant the 2 food plots that we basically planted this year, and we may add additional. This year we will try to fertilize and lime the soil to try to help get the soil in a good condition for the seed. And we're going to try to do some homemade blends of different seeds, like some clover and chicory mixes, and maybe try different types of forages and blend those together. So this year goal number 4 is to replant the food plots and maybe add some additional food plots. Goal number 5 is going to have to do with trees. There is just not enough trees on this property, at least in my opinion. These are some peach trees that we transplanted last year that were near one of the houses we tore down. And we did plant a lot of fruit bearing trees last year. Well, this year we want to try to plant some more beneficial trees. I've got 71 chestnut seeds that are in the refrigerator, and they are cold stratifying. And I also have some persimmon seeds, about 25 I think, also in there cold stratifying. And I'm going to try to grow persimmons and chestnuts from seed. And then maybe if we're lucky, in the fall this year, we will go ahead and plant all those trees out here. I also wouldn't mind, I've got this nice beautiful, pine trees over here as a wind block. I wouldn't mind putting pine trees all along the front and just kind of making a privacy screen along the road. So I think goal number 5 is going to do with growing new trees for the property, and we may plant some additional trees that we buy. We may buy some pine trees. We may buy some other types of nut trees like pecans and like English walnuts, almond trees. So definitely trying to do the nut trees this year, I hope. So goal number 5 is to slowly turn this left side of my property here of the lane and turn this back into a lot of trees. That's kind of the goal. I want some decent sections of trees or woods on the property. Now I really don't want to overwhelm myself with a lot of goals, because goal number 1 of trying to move toward building out here, that's the one we really want to focus on. So those first 5 goals I'm pretty already well involved in. I've already got tree seed, I've got garden seed, I've got berry plants ordered. I've already started all those projects. So I'm going to throw a bonus one on here. So if we have time, goal number 6 is we're going to try to expand on animals. And we can do that in a few different ways. We've done the chickens this last year. Now we can either do meat chickens and try to do a batch of meat chickens and grow them and butcher them. We could try a couple of pigs and try to raise a couple pigs, or we could do rabbits. So those are the 3 animals that me and my wife have discussed going to next. So as a bonus goal, if we have time this summer, if we do end up building a house out here, a cabin out here, we won't have time to add another animal. But if we have time this summer, we will try to do something new with animals and try our next homestead animal. So that's pretty much our goals for 2017. Trying to keep the list fairly short this year. Don't want to overwhelm ourselves, so that we can stay focused on the main task, and that's we want to live out here and turn this into our homestead. So wish us luck this year. If you're interested in any of these goals or projects, stay tuned, because we'll try to post videos about everything. Thank you. Thanks for watching.